Hello, hello, awesome rock stars. Excuse me, I guess I need more coffee. Ooh, rock stars, goddesses, my lovelies. Today on Monday Mojo Show, I'm going to be talking about a question that comes up quite often, and that's how do I know if I'm giving into an excuse or this is a legitimate reason? On today's Monday Mojo Show with me, Shay Kent. I'm your no excuses expert and the creator of the Unleash the Confident Successful Goddess Within. So if you're catching me on replay, hashtag replay me right now. Go ahead and hit that little like button because, Facebook algorithm, and let's dive right in. So often than not, I hear people saying things like, well, I just don't have the time to do the things that I want to be doing, or, well, so-and-so said that they would do, and so then this and that and the other thing. And I'm like, those aren't really legitimate reasons. Those are excuses that you're letting get in your way, especially that time one that drives me crazy. So how can you tell the difference? So the very first question that you need to ask yourself is, am I in control of the thing that I'm saying is my reason why, or possibly my excuse? So like, say time, big one for me, big one for a lot of people. I just don't have the time. Well, is somebody in control of your time? Unless you're like sitting in the penitentiary, you are the one who's running your show. You're the one who gets to say where you spend your time. Now, are you choosing to spend your time in ways that are less than thrilling, that you're putting off other things because you perceive that you have an obligation to be spending your time elsewhere? And what I mean by that is, so you have a job. Okay, cool. You gotta go spend time there. Got it. We have to have time to sleep. Got it. Time with the kids, with the family. Got it. What are you doing with like those extra 4 hours? Where are those going? Unless you are cataloging your time, you're probably not going to be able to actually tell me what you're doing with that time. It could be trolling around on Facebook. Hi, Facebook. It could be watching Netflix. It could be doing a number of other things that you are actually saying, and you're making the conscious decision to spend your time doing rather than the thing that you say that you want to be doing. So say, for example, you want to read a book and you're like, man, I just don't have time to read. I haven't had time in 15 years. What? You telling me you couldn't carve out some time in 15 years to read a goddamn book? Are you kidding me? So how can we get around this? Like I said, for one, catalog that time. Where are you spending it? What time are you waking up? How long do you spend getting ready for the day? How long are you at work? How long are you doing lunch? What are you doing after work? Where's the time going? And you're probably going to discover these little pockets of time that you're like, oh, I did spend 20 minutes on Facebook that I didn't mean to. Because we all know when you get on Facebook, sometimes you just go down that spiral, and before you know it, like a half hour has gone past. In fact, most users log into Facebook a minimum of 9 times a day, and each session they spend about, on average, 20 minutes. That is a lot of time going to really nothing, right? So where is it going for you? And are you using that as an excuse? Because it's time to buck up and say, I am responsible for my life and for how I choose to use my time. So next time you find yourself saying, I don't have time for this, I want you to actually tweak that statement and say, I'm not making time for this. This is not something that I'm putting on my priority list, and see how just that one little tweak makes you feel. Because more than likely, you're going to go, oh crap, it is all up to me, right? So that's the first thing. Do I have control over this? And if you do have control over it, how can you change it? Because then you know that it's an excuse. It's not an actual legitimate reason. Now, if you don't have control over what's going on in the circumstances in the world, like the weather, say, for example, it's raining, you wanted to go golfing, you're not going to go golfing in the rain. Okay, cool. However, how can you pivot at that point to still kind of do the thing that you want to do? So in my golf example, which is random off the top of my head, so say all of a sudden this huge storm is coming down. Obviously, you're not going to be out on the golf course. Your intention was to go swing, some clubs at your golf balls and have some fun with your friends. Is there another way to do that? Hell yeah. There's like indoor putt-putt. No, I know it's not the same thing. However, the intent is still there. You could go to the indoor driving range like Golf Galaxy. I think that's what that's called. So there are other ways to get to the goal that you're not letting something else stand in your way. And that's exactly what an excuse does. An excuse will pop up and you'll go, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm not going to do that thing. If there's a way to pivot and get around that and create something different, it doesn't have to look the way you think it's going to look. Most likely in life, things don't look the way that we think it's going to look, right? So pivot, and that's how you get around those excuses. What's the actual intention of, say, you going to a painting class? Well, okay, COVID, we can't go to painting classes. Can you YouTube something online? Can you buy a kit for your house? What are the actions that you can do in order to make the thing happen? And that's where the successful people will pivot and find new ways around whatever this excuse that pops up is. And those are those people that you're going and you're looking at them like, how do they have all of the time to spend doing the painting that they want to do? And they're always at the golf course. They're figuring it out. They're not letting something stand in their way, and that's what an excuse becomes. Something that just stands in your way and keeps you small. So if you can pivot around that, no more excuse, right? And then the final thing I'm going to talk about is you have to be real with yourself. Now, excuses are, I like to call them, so limiting beliefs. If you take my course, I call them nurse ratchets because they're put there to keep you safe, yet what they're really doing is hurting you. They're keeping you small. They're not keeping you safe, right? So if you are letting an excuse get in your way because of a nurse ratchet, that's fear and doubt. Those two things keep you immobilized. They keep you exactly where you are. You're not going to move forward. You're not going to move back. You're not going to move left or right. You're going to be in the exact same spot that you have been because of fear and doubt. Fear and doubt are direct drivers of nurse ratchets because fear keeps you safe, right? That's why we don't go running around on the highway. And doubt, that's just something that we do, which sucks. Self-doubt really is a killer. And that is all that is taking the time to retrain yourself, retrain your brain. You use muscle, your brain muscle, I'm going to call it, to get into the habit of moving through the doubt, because we all doubt ourselves. I doubt myself. I don't let it hold me back though. You have to push through the doubt and the fear to get to the thing that you want. So yeah, I'm scared. Yeah, I have doubt. Every time I go live here in Facebook, you'll see my videos all the time. Every single time I stand here, I make notes. And I'm like, well, I hope this makes sense. I hope somebody likes it. I hope they don't hate me. That's self-doubt right there. I do it anyway. Here I am. Just move through it. It is a habit that you have to form, right? So learn to ask yourself when things pop up, am I in control of this? Is there another way around this? Can I pivot to get to the thing that I want? Sure, my end thing might not look exactly the way I think it might, or I wanted it to. However, still going to get there. I'm not going to stand right here and be like, well, there's that gold on the other side of this big giant river. All of it is mine. All I have to do is figure out how to get across the river. Wow. That's a really big river. I don't think I can do it. Never mind. I don't really need that $1 million in gold. No. If that were the case, you would figure out how to get your ass across the river, wouldn't you? I'm pretty sure you would. So, do I have control over this? How can I pivot to get around this and have the outcome that I'm having? And what is the underlying feeling that I'm feeling right now that is really what's holding me back? And more than likely, that's probably fear or doubt. So give me that thumbs up, give me a like, say hello, drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And I will see you all later next Monday on the next version of the Monday Mojo Show.